play. What a goal, Johnny Norris!
So guys, to start off the next season here, the 2020/21 season, we didn't actually see any player growth over the off season, mainly just because player growth comes mainly from, I want to say, like player skills more than anything else really. So 65 rated Johnny Norris, you can see we got, after an entire offseason of just strictly skating training, we got his skating statistics up by half a star. But 84 acceleration, 84 speed is really good on a defenseman. He's going to be able to stick with anybody in the WHL as far as speed goes. And I don't know, I think this will be his draft year most likely. He'll be 17 turning 18, so at the end of this season, Johnny Norris will be drafted, and we'll see where he goes essentially, but he's probably going to have one more season of junior hockey with the Rockets, and obviously, you know, this season we're going to be aiming to win a Memorial Cup as well as the WHL, because, you know, even though we finished first in the regular season last season, getting knocked out first round was not good enough, and that's going to have to improve. Obviously, the same goes for, you know, the season after. We're going to try to win the Memorial Cup, do all that stuff. Obviously, losing the Memorial Cup last season, again, that one stings. The team's not going to be as good this year, just based on, you know, offensive stats and stuff like that. Like, yes, the top pairing's sick. Don't get me wrong. That's an awesome top pairing. The top line's going to be insane, too. But at the same, Whiteman, I've never heard of him before. All right. So yeah, by the looks of it, the skill level besides, you know, Norris and Wong is not going to be that high on the team overall. Bazran Schwebus is good goalie tandem, and I don't know why Pavel Novak isn't playing. He should be. But yeah, that's the team. Johnny Norris's stats are, you know, currently pretty solid, but, you know, nothing insane, I'd say. I'm not player training, so I want to see player growth. There we go. And, you know, we should go check out the skill tree, too, just because I haven't spent a lot on the skill tree recently. But, yeah, you can see 4-star defense, 5-star skating. So I guess the way the statistics really work, right, is it's 5 stars, right, for your statistics. So if you max out a statistic, which is level 10, I think, that's equal to, like, one level is equal to half a star on a player's overall ratings, right? So 5-star skating is going to equal 2.5, I guess. Or actually, yeah, it'd be 2.5-star skating, which is crazy because, you know, he's, like, the skating statistics are insane for Johnny Norris, but obviously that can still be developed a lot more. But anyways, right now I'm going to cut it. I'll probably have the recording. You'll see I'll look different by the end of this recording cut because it'll be a couple days to play through all the games in the season and stuff like that. I only play 1 period per game normally. Maybe if I played the entire game, I'd be seeing more player growth. But anyways, yeah, I will see you guys at the end of the 2020/21 season here with the Norris brothers, Johnny Norris especially, and the Kelowna Rockets.
6.5 hours later.
So guys, first off, all the sound cut out on the recording, so I'm going to do a voiceover here, and you're going to see my, you know, face cam and everything, but Johnny Norris puts up 57 goals and 71 assists for 128 points in just 68 games, jumping from a 65 to a 78 overall here with the Kelowna Rockets. He's now the highest rated player on the Rockets, over top of Trevor Wong and Rich Norris, believe it or not. And yeah, he just had the most fantastic season in a modern WHL defenseman's career, really. Like, this is insane. 162 penalty minutes was pretty ridiculous, but the 131 plus minus is insane. I don't think we've seen a plus minus quite like that in a long time here. So, as you can see, it was pretty big improvement. The only thing that stayed the same really was penalty minutes, but still just absolutely ridiculous what Johnny Norris was able to put up here. Like, I know it wasn't the wasn't exactly the best season in like WHL defenseman history. Obviously, we would have had to have like 120 assists, which is a little bit too ridiculous to be honest, but still, this is just an insane performance here. 11 game-winning goals, 6 power play goals, 13 power play points, 6 shorties, which is insane, 9 shorthanded points. The time on ice for Johnny Norris went up by 5.5 minutes over the last season. He tossed a whole bunch of more hits there, 268 to lead the WHL. Blocks had 116. You know, takeaways improved a little bit, but so did the giveaways. Like, the giveaways got worse, obviously. So, yeah, those are Johnny Norris's improved stats here from season to season. And, really, it was just an absolute grind to get the Rockets here 60 wins, 7 losses, and 1 overtime loss for 121 points to blow everybody else out of the water in the WHL. The Kelowna Rockets absolutely dominate here in Johnny Norris's draft year, and really, I don't think we can complain at all about how this has gone. It's just insane, really. It's just insane how well this team has performed, how well Johnny Norris performed over the season. Obviously, we did play almost every single game off a camera there for this season to get him to this position, but he is going to be one of the best two-way defenders coming into the NHL that the NHL has seen in a long time. I'm going to say since Rasmus Dahlin, probably. I know he was drafted in just 2018, I believe. Yeah, 2018. But still, Johnny Norris has the potential to become an even better defenseman than Rasmus Dahlin at this point, which is absolutely absurd. The reason being is because we have the potential to get drafted to a better team than Buffalo, but at the same time, you know, Buffalo is a pretty nice option there with, you know, Eichel and who else do they have? Like Middlestad. They've just got so many good players that I honestly wouldn't complain if we did get drafted by Buffalo, but at the same time here you can see, you know, Ty Smith had a pretty good season there. He was the next highest scorer there after a bunch of the Rockets players, but the plus minus was really just crazy here. We had like 8 Rockets in a row here in the top plus minus because the team was just blowing everybody else out on such a consistent basis here. Obviously, the Norris brothers were a huge part of that, but Johnny Norris does lead the league in penalty minutes this season, obviously, and, well, we did just barely beat out Rich Norris for the most goals in the WHL there, which is crazy because both those guys can put the puck away like it's nothing. Obviously, you know, once we get to a higher level with Johnny Norris, I think the reason Johnny Norris was able to dominate so much this year was based on the fact that that the WHL was pretty weak this year. He did have 71 assists, just beat out Ty Smith by like 2 or 3 assists. And hits, Johnny Norris obviously led the league as well there. Conrad Mitchell, a big, you know, grinder left winger there. Obviously, all he does is throw the body, but Johnny Norris being an elite defenseman is scary how much physicality he has. So, the awards we're not going to be able to see until after, like, all the playoffs are done and everything like that. But, yeah, that's kind of the point where we're at right now. I want to say that Johnny Norris is going to win the Bob Clarke Award there. There's a lot of awards that he could win. I don't think we're going to win the sportsmanship one just based on the 162 penalty minutes. We should win the Bill Hunter. The Jim Piggott Award we cannot win because we were rookie last season. We can't win the top goalie either, obviously. But after that, you know, I really do expect Johnny Norris to get at least 5 or 6 awards here, just based on the fact that he had such a damn good season overall. And, you know, having a highly decorated defenseman is definitely going to look good on an NHL resume and, you know, possibly see him get drafted higher. So I think what we're going to do now is we're going to jump into the playoffs. I'm going to do it all off camera, show you guys what happens. And then we will go from there and, you know, like check out awards and all that other good stuff here because, you know, that's kind of just the format of the video we're running right now for these first couple of episodes anyways. Obviously, once we actually get drafted, we're going to be a little bit more in depth. I'm not going to be showing a ton of gameplay in this series. It's going to be more statistical breakdowns and stuff like that. But, you know, having a defenseman like this, you obviously want to see him play a couple times still, obviously. So I will see you guys at the end of the playoffs. So guys, I'm pretty sure like all of my audio is totally messed up and screwed up because I restarted my computer and Windows didn't update and it was absolutely atrocious as far as, messing up my sound goes. So I think we actually have sound now. I can see it's actually recording sound. It wasn't before. So by the looks of it, we're going to be a top 15 pick in the draft, I would assume. We're not really going to know who wins awards until a little bit later. So I think what we're going to do is sim ahead on the calendar just a little bit. We're going to see who lands what lottery picks, really. That's kind of the main thing here. Retirement re-sign phase. Okay, so we're going to go to like May. Let's go to June 1st and see who wins what and what happens here. But yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. I'm going to kind of just cut the video nice and quickly here. We're going to focus mainly on lateral movement as well as power skating. So we'll do like 4 of those, I guess, or something like that. And then power skating's 4, so we can get 2 of those in. And do some sprints or something like that. So yeah, we're going to be focused mainly on Johnny Norris's skating because that is going to be his strong suit as far as play goes. But all right, guys. So by the looks of it, the season's over here. The Brandon Wheat Kings are your champions there for the WHL. So they'll be heading to the Memorial Cup final, or the Memorial Cup, I guess. So that kind of stinks for the Rockets, obviously, but we do win the Scott Munro Memorial 2 seasons in a row, so that's pretty good. And there you go. Johnny Norris is your 4 Broncos winner there, as well as your Bob Clarke winner. Obviously, he was the top scorer. Trevor Wong wins the sportsmanship, or the Brad Hornung trophy there. Johnny Norris is your Bill Hunter Memorial winner as the top defenseman this season. Whiteman is your Whiteman's your top rookie there for the Rockets. Mackay, I think is how you say it. Wins the Del Wilson Trophy for best goalie. Doug Wickenheiser goes to Jones there. Johnny Norris is your plus-minus leader, and no idea who that guy is. I'm gonna go look him up in the statistics here pretty quick, but yeah. So by the looks of it, Norris wins 4 trophies. Okay, so that's not bad. I was trying to aim for like 6 or 7, but 4 trophies as a 17-year-old in the WHL is always a very good season. There's no question about that, really. All right, guys. So yeah, the playoff MVP there for Brandon was like a top 9 forward. So okay, we're just gonna keep simming ahead. I don't know when the draft lottery is, but we're gonna find out pretty quickly here. As I think I'm just gonna sim up to like the 6th there. We'll do a little bit more training and then wrap up this episode, I guess, because this has been a cut over, like, this is a week's worth of playing through gameplay and stuff that a lot of it has not been on camera, just based on the fact that it takes so freaking long to play through games and seasons and stuff like that. Like the series that I'm kind of trying to base this video and series setup on is, I don't know if you guys have watched G20's Be a Pro, but literally what he does is he plays through like a month's worth of games and then records one video with like one game and then just a whole bunch of statistical breakdown and stuff like that, which is totally how I'm going to end up doing this series. We're going to, focus on, becoming the franchise, or having Johnny Norris become the franchise defenseman he's going to be. But Buffalo Sabres are your Stanley Cup champions, and the Providence Bruins are your Calder champions. All right, interesting. I just need to check my playoff stats quickly because I honestly didn't. I didn't show you guys the playoff stats and how well Johnny Norris performed in the playoffs because he was insane too. So yeah, 11 points in 12 games, 7 goals, 4 assists, +6. 40 minutes of penalties was not good. We were getting in a lot of fights in those series, and that proved to hurt the team more so because we weren't on the ice. And having that 79 rated high elite defenseman on the ice does make a pretty significant difference. So yeah, that's just too bad, really. So guys, something else I have been kind of trying to do as this season's gone on is predict where players are going to end up. And it's hard to predict because, a lot of the guys that are getting drafted this season are guys like Atu Ratty and Brant Clark and Brennan Othman and like Jesper Wallstead, guys like that. Like, they're not in the WHL, so I have no idea how they're performing or playing right now. But what we're going to do is we're just going to hit sim to the draft here. We'll get the last little bit of training done before we get to see the, what do you call it? Before we get to see the draft lottery. That's the word I'm looking for, because the draft lottery is going to determine where the top 15 teams are picking, which is massive because that means we're going to be landing somewhere in there with Johnny Norris next episode when we actually take on the entry draft here and see how things, you know, pan out, because obviously Johnny Norris is going to be a top end pick. I wouldn't expect him to go behind Rich Norris. He might, but I don't think so, just based on the fact that San Jose and Buffalo. Guys, Buffalo just won the cup. Okay, they have Rasmus Dahlin, they have Jack Eichel. They won the cup in 2021, which is insane because of what's actually going on in real life with Buffalo and all the rumors and stuff like that. But San Jose lands pick number 1 and pick number 6. That's scary. Pittsburgh jumps from 10 to 2. Philadelphia jumps from 12 to 3. Ottawa's at pick 4. Buffalo's at 5. Wow, this is an absolutely insane draft based on the fact that Florida was a bottom tier team and Colorado was a bottom tier team. Colorado had the second best odds to win the lottery there and fell to 5, but Buffalo owned their pick. What the hell? Like, actually, sorry guys, I don't mean to curse, but like, what? So yeah, that is going to wrap up this episode. I guess this is episode 2 still. I've been kind of off with my numbers and, you know, starting an episode consistently so far in this series, but there you go. There's your draft lottery. This is how the teams are going to pan out heading into the draft, and who knows where we're going to land. That's going to be interesting to see, though, for sure. Okay, so, guys, there you go. I don't think we're going to end up in San Jose, but the chance that we end up in, like, Pittsburgh or Philly or some massive team already that's that good, like, yeah, okay, they missed the playoffs. That's understandable. Like, it happens to every team where you don't make the playoffs for a year, but to fall from pick, well, to not to fall, but it's to jump up because they're in the lottery. So to jump up from the 12th worst team in the league to getting the 3rd best odds for a team like Philly, like, that's insane. That just changes your team's luck and your team's perspective and literally just, like, kickstarts either a rebuild or sends you right back into the playoffs the next year. I get the feeling we got a really good chance of landing in San Jose, which is, you know, that's an interesting topic because they already have Carlson, they already have Burns, they have good players in the forward group. Like, Tomas Hertl is getting older, but they have Timo Meier still. The team that I would most like to go to probably out of this entire group would be between Buffalo and Ottawa, but honestly, any team's going to be lucky to draft Johnny Norris, even if he doesn't go number 1 overall, which I assume he's going to, just because of the draft year where Atu Radi's only like a 78 overall. Johnny Norris has surpassed him in a single season. He's jumped from a 65 to a 79. That's a plus 14 growth in this episode, which is insane. So yeah, there you guys have it. I hope you enjoyed, you know, this quick kind of recap or cap off of Johnny Norris's junior career, because really he's going to be in the NHL. He's listed as a top 6 defenseman now, and we will see what happens here. But anyways, that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Etanyos signing out, and see ya.
Take you